You know, as I stand here and look at this bike, I just wish my arms were a little bit longer so that it would be easier to reach around and pat myself in the back. Because this bike mercilessly got attacked with a large can of spray paint from the previous owner. He was going for a murdered out theme, and I thought of murdering him. But anyway, if you watched the last video, you left off with painting the frame. I was going to attack the electrical. I'm about 3/4 of the way through that, cleaning all that up. But the big deal was, I knew I needed to paint the swing arm, but I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do it right with it in the bike. So I pulled all of that off. The brake stuff, suspension linkage, the swing arm, wheel, all that. And got in there and painted the frame in there and cleaned up the back of the motor. And then just went through and cleaned up all the bolts, all the linkage. Resprayed the swing arm, the brake arm, the caliper holder, the wheel. I redid these in black. I think they look much better with the black frame than silver. And then, so I did silver on the swing arm and the caliper arm, and then shiny, sparkly paint on the caliper, and then gold on the wheel, which is gonna fit in nice with the scheme that I have thought up. But I spray painted a lot of things in my life. I have two observations. One, in the last 48 hours, I have spray painted more things. I spray painted all this stuff, and then the engine cases are up there. Did the engine cases. So sparkly silver, regular silver, gold, satin black, gloss black, and then just a lot of cleaning. I cleaned up the shock as well. So moving on, the next step is going to be correcting the front end. Obviously, I'm going to spray the wheel, but what I was going to correct is the previous owner made a big brake kit for this, and he didn't do it too well. In fact, I think he might have done the welding with his eyes closed in a dark room. I admire his attempt, but he made it so that the caliper is sitting too far out on the disc. You can see the engagement. It's only about 3/4. So that negated any benefits of going with the big brake kit. But the good news is everything for Ninja 250s, the first gens, is cheap and available. So I got a caliper and a disc for 50 bucks. I'm gonna refinish both of those, remove all this nonsense and put that back. And then the fork legs are gonna be silver, kind of like the swing arm. And then obviously gold on the wheel. But there's going to be a lot of rebuilding in this area because this bike was a naked bike, and I just never really, some naked bikes I like, all naked women I like, but this one, it just didn't look right. I thought that this bike should be a fairinged bike. So another great thing, the Ninja fairing, I got all the stuff to do the Ninja 250 fairing. So the bracket that holds the fairing itself, the mirrors, the turn signal mounts that go into the fairing. So I can get rid of these and just need a windscreen. I got to find a windscreen for it. But that's going to be a neat look. It's going to change up the previous scheme that I had laid out for this bike, but I think it's going to look much better. And now I've got to, the bike had working turn signals. Now I got to find what I did with the turn signal wires that I clipped off because I wasn't going to run signals on this bike. Fortunately, I did not hack off the signals off the rear fender, but unfortunately, I had a Homer Simpson moment and cut off what were going to be unused tangs off the tank that work for the fairing. So I got to weld those back on. No big deal. The other good thing in my future is I got the gaskets to put the motor back together. So first thing I have to do is figure out how to chamfer or send them out to be chamfered, the cylinders. And if you look at, check these neat things out. Courtesy of all of our friends in China, complete repop for the 350 cylinders. But if you look, really sharp edges on the points, and the concern is they can catch a ring. And I don't know what tool you use to get in there to chamfer them. So I think I'm just gonna end up taking them to my friend Elmer, who's a wizard, who can take care of that, because I've never done one before, and I know Elmer has, and he can do it right. So that's all my next steps, guys. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. If you're not, check out the website, Texas Moto Works with an X, O-R-X, texasmotoworks.com. Keep up to date with us. All right, take care.